Ralph, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
5 points clear of the bottom three in the Premier League. But would it be dangerous to think that you're safe yet?
Would be, yes, but you can guarantee you that we don't. We know how tough it is and how tough it was so far to get the right points in the right moment, and there are still a lot of points to get. So it's important that we stay on focus, and I think the results yesterday in the evening were good for us, sure. It gave a little pressure from us, but it's still a long way to go, and the earlier we have the 40 points, the better it is, and so we have to stay focused for the rest of the season.
3 wins in your last 4 Premier League games. How key is that kind of run at this crucial stage of the season?
Important, very important. Especially the win against Tottenham was a win nobody expected from us. The last against Brighton was a 6-pointer, and for us also very important. But the more important thing is in the moment that the team feels that the way we play is a successful way, and we can create problems for every opponent. And I think also the flexibility of our game is rising, and that means that we can play in different shapes now, easily switch. I think in the last game we surprised the opponent a little bit because we come in a 4-2-2-2, and I must say I like this shape, and it worked very well. And this is a kind of development we need in this period of the season. Getting a little bit surprising for the opponents always, and is a good thing to start in the game, and I think that was the most important thing in the last weeks.
If you was to look at the Premier League table from January the 1st onwards, Southampton would be in the top half. Does that give you an indication as to just how much of an impact you've had since you arrived?
That gives the indication that we had to take this much points, because otherwise we would not stand in the position we are in the moment, and that was important. I was always talking about taking points consistently, and we did, and it was important to come out of this area, and the way the guys did it was exactly the way we demand them to do, with a very active way of playing the game, and this pressing style I think is something the guys got used to, and it was a crucial key for winning games.
Up next, a huge game against Liverpool, obviously a team fighting for the Premier League title, a team that only lost 1 game this season. How big a test will this be? Will this be your biggest challenge since you arrived at Southampton?
Yeah, if you want, it's one of the 2 top teams in England, but the top 6 are all not easy to play. So against. No, it's the first time we play against a really good pressing team. So the style of football I also prefer, but you can see that this team is maybe 1 step or 2 steps ahead in their development, and then it looks like this: a very, very good, balanced and organized team with a clear plan, and nice to watch also for me, and it would be a very interesting game for me and for the coaches for both sides. I think we will also have to do a lot of work outside, I think, with coaching the team, and yeah, it's maybe a big challenge, but I like these challenges.
You touched upon there the fact that you like the 4-4-2 formation that you adopted last week. When you've got a front 3 of Firmino, Salah, Mane, does that come into your thinking perhaps about going to a back 3? How do you counteract that kind of quality going forward?
I think there's not only one way to defend this. There are a lot of ways you can do it. But again, I'm happy that my team adapts different style of football or different style of shapes in the moment, so that makes it easy to switch from one shape to the other. And is an option to stay in the 4-2-2-2, but is it also an option to switch back in the 5-2-3 or 5-3-2? We have a few shapes we can play in, and I have not found the final decision so far.
Liverpool look like such a strong side. Is there a weakness that you can exploit? Do you see areas where you can have an effect on them?
Not so many, to be honest. But yeah, how they play is a perfect example of a physically strong team combined with technical quality, speed, and also good organization. So you can think about why it is so difficult to win against this team, and only one team in England so far could make it, and that's what Manchester City. But that doesn't mean that we are frightened about that game or afraid about walking out on the pitch in our stadium, because we know that we are playing at home. We know that we have the crowd behind us, and they were pushing us. They are pushing us. That's for sure. And you never know. Then suddenly there's a chance to turn the table in the game. And if we have this chance, we have to be prepared for it. And then maybe we have a chance to take something.
What's the Southampton team used ahead of the game?
So far, you know that Ingzi is not allowed to play. So we have to have a new offensive position. Along is back in training is an option. Yannick Westergaard trained this week again with a team that is good. There's also maybe an option for playing. If not, then we have Jack Stevens as an alternative. And yeah, the rest. Lemina is it's a pity that he's not back in training again, because he had still problems this week. So he made a little bit more rest this week. And yeah, the rest is like in the last games.
And finally, there's been a lot of talk over the course of the last week in football about racism. We've seen yet more issues, more problems, more racist abuse for players. The talk now is that the manager and the players need to get together and walk off the pitch if anyone is subject to more racist abuse. Would you support that? Is that the right next step now?
I will support everything what protects my players, and you have to know that we don't have these problems in this club. I, as a manager, never has this problem so far. But it's not only the racism; it's about every kind of discrimination so far, and I'm against every part of discrimination, because this game is for everybody, and that should be for the future. And it's always necessary that we take these strong messages, like we did in the last weeks, to say this that this game is for everybody, and we are against every discrimination at all. Thanks a lot.
Hello, Ralph.
Oh, that's nice.
Jakob said that you are doing an incredible job. What does that mean to you, from him?
I think he uses very often warm words for the opponent managers, so I know how it has to but it's I know him as a very honest guy, and that I know that if he says something like that, then it's not only tactic, it's kind of also a few honest things in it, and I think it's he knows me, I think, also for a long time, although we didn't play a lot of times against each other, but yeah, we had our tell me this, coaching badges is the right word for it. We were studying our coaching badges and together, and we know us for a long time. We also played against each other. He was in Mainz and I was in Fürth, I think, and so it's a long way. In Cologne also, I think, yes, that's right. But I didn't play very often, so but it was a long time we are working together. Yeah.
You played against each other 11 minutes in total.
Really? It's enough. And I didn't score in this 11 minutes? Okay. Okay.
Did you already tell him what Huttl means?
No, not at all. I think I will tell him on the weekend, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Well, in that.